I don't know what I want to post, but I know that I've been creating, and I know that I want to share. And I also know that I have goals of getting monetized on this channel, so I have to post. But what? But what? That is the question that's been on my mind lately. So lately I have been pretty committed to creation, to artistry, to my cameras. I have several different cameras right now. I'm filming on a Canon Rebel T7i. I've been taking pictures on my Instax Mini EVO and taking some videos on a little toy camera that I have. And I have been having so much fun. It's been a very long time. I found a new camera that I really, really wanted, and it kind of inspired me because I can't afford said camera right now. It inspired me to make new something that's already old. So I decided to buy a couple of new filters, two of which are on my camera right now that I've really been enjoying. And I've been encouraging myself to play around with these new filters and play around with different settings that I don't typically use to kind of re-encourage and re-usher in this period of creation in my life, because I love to create it. I've always been a creative person, and I think other artists will understand that. And I use the word artist specifically because I think that there's a difference between somebody that's like a content creator and an influencer, not derogatory at all, but there's a difference between somebody who's that and then somebody who is an artist. And sometimes they overlap, but sometimes they do not. And I think that I know that I am an artist. And being an artist in the age of content creation is really, really difficult. And I lost a lot of my creative spark. You know, I had a lot of business spark. I had a lot of, go, 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 gusto, go you need when you were trying to compete with the algorithm. But I lost a lot of my creative whimsy. My dedication to creativity had to waver in order to keep up with the beast that is social media. And I have made a recent commitment to myself back to being a creative again. And in every aspect, in every way, whether it's through fashion, makeup, and hair, writing. I've been writing a lot again. Never see me without a journal at this point. Like I said earlier, photography. I've just been having so much fun being recommitted to what it means to be an artist. I feel like a kid. I feel like a kid again. And it's so, so nice and so freeing to have this piece of me back. Who was Anjuli without creativity? I was a shill. I was a shell and a shill. I was nothing more, but I have it back. I have it back. And I think as a creative, as an artist, you do find a difficulty, especially in these times right now where there's so much negative stuff going on. There's so much happening around us that we are often tasked with, well, my silly little picture of my dog, or, this silly little picture that I took at the marketplace in Japan, these, drawings that I've made, this music that I have put together and orchestrated. What does it matter in the grand scheme of things? It feels like almost selfish, self-indulgent. It feels rude to be an artist right now. And I challenge you, much like I want to challenge myself, such as in putting out this video, the importance and the value in your storytelling. So one thing that I do find interesting, when I talk about my own personal story, being deaf, I was born deaf, and I'm also a musician on top of other things, a singer on top of other things. And in telling my story, people are like, oh, do you need me to sign? The normal things that would come up if you're talking to somebody and you find out that they're deaf. They're like, well, how are we talking right now? Do you need me to sign for you? What can I do to accommodate you? Wait, I just heard you sing, how did you do that? And then it reminds me that what feels normal to me, because I don't go about my day feeling deaf. I don't go about my day thinking about this thing that really does affect every aspect of my life, but I don't feel that because I've been living this life. It's so normal, it's so ordinary. There's nothing spectacular or exceptional about it to me. I forget about that until I'm talking to somebody casually about something and giving them the context that I am deaf, and then they're like, whoa, hold on. This just opened up a whole can of worms for me because now I'm not understanding things the way that I thought that I was understanding things. And then it reminds me the importance of telling my story and the importance of other people telling their story. And I made a video about this before. I will link it. I can't remember exactly what I said, but it was something along the lines of like, you get so accustomed to telling your story over and over again, sharing bits of yourself over and over and over again, that you forget that these are special things. The story of you being the firstborn may not be or seem that special, but to somebody who doesn't have that perspective, that is special. But then when you compound all the other things about yourself, maybe you're the firstborn and also the first child of an immigrant born in the United States or something. Or maybe you're also the first person to graduate high school in your family as well. So that's gonna put little intricacies into your story and make it all the more exceptional. And we negate stuff like that. We forget that stuff like that is special because we just get so lost in the little mundane. We get so lost in the, well, it's not something I think about. But I promise you, other people are thinking, whoa, fuck. That's crazy, man. And there is value in that story. I have a little bit of a fascination with storytelling after I really got to thinking about the AIDS crisis. And I promise this isn't something sad that I'm about to share or devastating, but ride along the ride with me for a second. When I think about the AIDS crisis, I am young enough to have not been personally affected by or know somebody that was personally affected by having complications with AIDS, right? But I am also old enough that I have people that were older than me, mentors, my drag family, my own mother, they have had people that have passed away due to complication from AIDS, right? And being in this weird middle ground and seeing this shift, because I remember the HIV and AIDS conversations in school, because it was still a thing that they were actively talking about. People would actively make jokes about, which isn't right. Okay, I'm not saying that it's right, but I don't hear jokes about that anymore because I don't think people are thinking about thinking about AIDS in the same way that they used to, because it's a little bit further away from us, which is great. We have the tools, we have the medicine, we have the education. But as we see, sex education being stripped away from us, as we see LGBTQ plus people being told to suppress themselves, go in hiding, all of that stuff, these stories are going to become more and more underground. And I can't help but think, without these stories being told, what is the rise of these diseases coming back, these infections, these things that devastated whole communities? What is the chances of them coming back? And I think that's pretty high, which puts value in these stories. These stories used to be our education. And I'm not putting, saying my story is as important as the stories of, my gay elders and all of that. But I am saying, but also, why couldn't it be? Why couldn't my story help somebody else who's deaf and is in constant isolation because of language deprivation the way that I am? Why can't your story be the same? And part of sharing the stories is sharing your artistry, sharing your work. That's why we still study in history classes. I mean, I don't know if they still do, but when I was a kid, okay, we used to study in history classes old poetry and old artworks and stuff like that, because old sculptures, because they all told about a certain point in time, what was valued, what was going on, what was stressing people out. What did love mean to people back then? What did marriage mean to people back then? Because those are definitely two totally different things. What do all of these things, what does it mean to be Black? What does it mean to be Jewish? What does it mean to be gay? Our hair, the music, all of it tells a story. When people say things like, you know, back in my day, music was good and wholesome, they'd be talking about Cooter Cat and that music back then too, okay? And honestly, without all of the restrictions on language, it was even raunchier, okay? Like, these things are important and they hold value, and I need to remember as well when I'm saying, I don't want to post this right now because there's so much going on. Why does this feel important? This isn't that important. It is still important because we're still here right now, and people are more than ever still craving community. People are more than ever still craving to know that somebody else gets it or somebody else sees them. And there is value in that. There's value in community in whatever way that has to come to be. And so in choosing to prioritize, you know, community and seeing the value in my story and telling myself like, okay, we are going to create no matter what. And then we're also going to share because these things should be shared. I'm also choosing to say fuck it to the rules, because that for me was very, very debilitating. The fact that there's so many videos, and if you are here and you're watching this, I assume that you are somebody who has once tried or is currently trying or tried and maybe succeeded to be an influencer, a YouTuber, you know, a monetized artist, whatever that looks like. There are so many videos here on YouTube that will tell you, this is the formula that's gonna get you monetized. These are the videos you need to make to get monetized. This is how you beat the algorithm. Use ChatGPT to optimize your flow. Optimization, 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 optimization is literally the bane of my existence. Fuck optimization. Sorry. Fuck it to hell, okay? I hate that word. I hate it. I hate it so much. And part of the reason why I hate it is because optimization completely removes, disregards, and doesn't give a single care to humanity. Saying fuck it to the rules isn't necessarily about me just trying to be, you know, cool and like, fuck the rules. No, it's an adamant rejection of the fact that when I post this video, I don't know how well it's gonna do. To be honest, I don't expect it to do very well. And I'm sure that there are things that I can be doing to make it do better. But honestly, I don't care. I don't care. And it might make it a waste of my time, but is it a waste of my time to feel like right now in this moment, everything that I'm saying, I feel like needs to be said? When I go to edit this video and I go to put in, I don't exactly know what I'm putting in just yet, but I know that I have some B-roll clips that I want to include. And when I go to put those in there, I know that I'm going to be looking at something that makes me so happy because I did that. I made that all by myself. I drew that picture and my mommy put it up on the fridge. Like, I did this all by myself. And there's pride and there's joy and there's satisfaction in that. Maybe only one person will see it. Maybe thousands of people will see it. I don't care. I don't care, because for a really long time, I did care. And I really tried. I tried so hard to follow the rules, but it made all of this not fun for me anymore. It made creativity a back burner thought, because all I was thinking about was, how do I become successful? How do I optimize these things for success? A great example of this is I'm on a body journey. I don't want to say anything that's going to trigger anybody, so please know I'm not going to say anything too deep about it. But there's all these tips that you can find online if you're on a similar journey of like ketos and going to the gym, and you know, you should be working out for 2 hours and an hour and a half of that should be cardio or some other blah, 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 like that. And I have decided that if I'm going to take on this new lifestyle, because for me, I wanted my body journey to be about an actual lifestyle change, not a fad, not a phase that I'm just currently partaking in. If I'm going to do this lifestyle change, I want it to be fun and enjoyable for me. I don't care about doing this in the most optimal amount of time. I don't care about being summer body ready. I don't care about beating the winter fluff or whatever the hell people are gonna call these things. I don't care about that stuff. I care about, is this fun and enjoyable and sustainable to me? And right now I see it in my corner of my room. One of the things I've found so much joy in is hula hooping. And so I just stand in my room, turn on a silly little YouTube video, Sims build or whatever, and I just hula hoop. And I will hula hoop. Now I surprise myself. I hula hoop for 45 minutes straight. When I first started, I can only do it for 5-minute increments. And there's so much joy and there's so much like pride I feel in that, because there is progress in that. I'm doing this thing that's kind of fun and kind of mindless for me. I almost get to just like zone out. And I'm also doing something that feels good for my body. And gym bros will come in here and they will definitely disparage me for that. But I don't care. I don't care, because my humanity is more important to me than the optimization of all of this. Fuck all those rules that they created that made us feel like there's no other way. There is a way. There's a fun way. There's a whimsical way to do all of it. You don't have to make art that is good. You just have to make art. And then hopefully you feel good in the end, okay? Like that's all that matters. That is literally all that matters. It does not have to be, you do not have to write a story and it is perfect. The spelling is perfect. None of that matters. All you do is have to create it. And then if you want later on, you can go down and refine things if you so choose. But the most important thing that you do as a creative being is just create in the first place. And you'll never be able to create if you're constantly debilitating yourself with the thoughts of all of these rules and all of these algorithms and all of these, you know, in order to make great music, you need to have a hook and a chorus and a verse and a this and a that. And sometimes, fuck it. Sometimes, fuck it. Maybe my song is just gonna be one verse and that's it. Sometimes just do what the hell you want. Majority of the time, to do what the hell you want. If optimization becomes a thing that you want to care about later, hire somebody else to do that for you. That's my advice there. I will say on the sidebar, I do believe that there is a world where both can kind of coexist. I just think that optimization has truly overruled where we are right now as a society. And I think that a lot more people would benefit from ditching optimization altogether and remembering their core being, their core value as a human, and the fulfillment and the enjoyment of creation without optimization being a factor in it. So yeah, I have been creating a lot, I have been making a lot, and I have wanted to share, but I have not known what to share, and so I've decided to share this. And I hope that this inspires you. I hope it does something for you. I hope it reminds you that you don't have to have a point. You don't have to have a reason. The very fact that you exist and the very fact that you want to create something and find fulfillment in that is enough in and of itself. I hope that you have a great day, a great week. And if you're not, I hope that you are able to find space to breathe, find a little bit of reprieve in that. And I'll talk to you all soon. Okay, bye.